Hey guys, Cuber TV, playing some Magic, Grinning Malice. We will keep hold of that hand. Sorry about the weekend guys, not a chance to get many videos up. It's because, well, I've had to unlock all the cards for all the decks, so that's what I've been doing, and I'm also working at the same time, so I've not got as much time to do that. So I'm off now, so I can go and wait, we'll wait till his turn. So yeah, so I'm off now, so I'm going to try and get through some of the decks. So we're doing Grinning Malice. I've unlocked all of the cards for this, and this is the way I'm running it. Love this deck. I have to say I love pretty much all of the new decks, except Auramancer deck, which is the one typically I have to be playing. It's my least favourite out of them all. Just, it's hard to explain. Oh, sugar, and I didn't even go and get my swamp. So, too busy talking. It doesn't really matter too much anyway. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention there. It's hard to say why I don't like it just now, because until the sort of, as they say, meta game, till people start going back to the old decks and everything and seeing how it compares to them. But this card, this is the reason I dislike it, and most decks have got nothing to do with this. He's hexproof and is unblockable. You can get 2 enhancements on him and he becomes a 6/6 vigilance first strike, which is just a nightmare to deal with. It's impossible. Unless you get something bigger out, you're not going to win. So may as well drop down a rat. The Goblin Pack dude, Goblin Death Raiders. We can swing in with Trample, and I should cast this as well since I can get it on. So this guy's in a really good position here. But yeah, anyway, back to what I'm saying. Yeah, so I've played against this deck something like 15 times and lost, and it's the same way you lose this card. Every time I play against it, it's this card here. Bang, he just pumps it with enhancements, and then that's it. GG. Is that the one that? What's this one do? Yeah, it just taps my boy every time. That's fine. I'm not too bothered about that. At least he's not pumping this boy up too much at the moment. So some of the decks can take care of it. The Sepulchral Strength can deal with it, because there's a lot of sacrifice your dude cards and everything in that deck, which is very, very good. But some of the decks just have a nightmare, like Pack Instincts. Can't prey upon that dude because he's hexproof and unblockable. So anyway, back to this game, let's get on with it. I'm going to drop my single-minded ogre, let's make him discard a card here. Get something reasonably big, hopefully I'll get some damage on the go as well. We're obviously looking to get down to, sorry, not discard a card, take some life, because he just reveals it. We're hopefully looking to, and now that I've got my reanimate, which is kind of cool, we'll be looking to try and get down, obviously, our Demigod of Revenge. I can't really use Stabbing Pains at the moment because I can't cast on this dude, so he's got a second one of them, which is a little bit disappointing, but at least he's not powering them up at the moment, so I'm not too fast. I'm only taking 1 every turn currently. So yeah, I love all the new decks. This is the one I'm having the most frustration with, but until the game kind of, as I said, expands and gets a bit later on, I'm not too worried. Exalted have a good time against this deck, because I don't think there's much removal, so if you can get, what's it called? Hold on, let's get on with our turn. So we're going to drop down our Demigod this turn, and we'll just swing in with both our dudes. Let's get in for some damage. Worship, I think it's called. Yeah, Worship on the Exalted deck. Because there's not much creature removal, then it just becomes kind of like a stalemate. You're bouncing back. The problem is that this guy can become quite big quite quickly, and not overly big, but just big enough that he's very hard to deal with. Having the first strike and being a flyer and stuff, it's a very hard card to deal with. Luckily my opponent doesn't seem to be hitting all the too many auras for these guys, so we're still looking okay. So I think we're doing okay here. We can swing in for 8, plus I can blast that dude and get the Cascade on the go, so that's what I'll do. So I've not really talked about the cards in this one. I'll probably post another game up after this and I'll do better talking about the cards. It's just so happened that we had to hit the Auramancer deck. Oh, and we've got our Demigod that's gone to the bottom of our deck, I believe, which is a little bit disappointment. You can take 1 damage, thank you very much. Down to 8, so it looks like we might be swinging in for the win. And this is how it goes as well. If he doesn't get any auras out, he just gets crushed. So he's had nothing to answer, so that's kind of the way I feel about that deck. It kind of goes one way or the other. You're either really, really powerful, game's over in 5 turns, or you just basically get stomped upon. Daisho was talking about it as well in one of his videos. I'm just going to kick this boy just now because I'm talking. And it's quite interesting looking in the comments there, because a lot of people are talking about, yeah, cards that, like, you know, win you the game. Why is that bad? And the reason I dislike it is because it's just not a fun deck to play against. And I mean, I've not really played with it, so I don't know what it's like to play with it. But I just find it's not particularly fun to play against currently. Hopefully as the games move on and people understand the cards a little bit better, the deck will open up and it might become quite an interesting deck to play. But as I said, it seems very one-dimensional. Here's my 2 boys that I'm going to make big. Here's tons of enhancements on them. There's nothing you can do, dead. Which, you know, with all the other decks, because all the way all the other decks work, they're all very tricksy and everything. It's kind of a little bit disappointing. But anyway, guys, we'll get another video up. Kubear TV, signing out. We're back. Still playing Grinning Malice. That's an interesting hand. We have the kill spells and reanimate. I'm going to keep it. I know I've got no plays, but I've got the mana that I like. Having at least 1 mountain and 3 swamps is really nice. A couple of kill cards and reanimate. So we've got a few turns to actually hit something, and I've got a few low cost creatures, and I've loved this card that I've just drawn there. She is just a great card. You just like block something that's like equal power to you, kill another creature so you become bigger, then kill that creature and you get 2 counters on it. It's just such a cool card. So ironically, we're playing the Auromancer deck again. Just spent the entire last game talking about it, so I'll not do it this time because you kind of know my opinions on it, so we'll see how this game goes anyway. So we'll play our mountain. So we'll just talk about the cards. The Blood Cultist, tap this creature, you do 1 damage to a creature. If the creature dies, it's been dealt by damage with her, you put a 1/1 counter on it. You've got Lizo Lad, I don't know how you pronounce that, the Blood Witch. You can sacrifice a creature, do 2 damage to a player or a creature. If it was a red creature you sacrificed, if it was a black creature, you draw a card. My Wrecking Ball can do some damage with the Wrecking Ball, i.e. to maybe lands or something, which is probably what we will be doing, because if we can get rid of that planes it would be nice. So I think this turn I am going to drop Hard Down, just so I've got our ability available next turn for tapping anything, though it doesn't really matter because a lot of his creatures, as I said, have hexproofed. So we'll see how it goes. I might just get stomped on, or I might just stomp on him. And then we've got our, so he's got that which taps my boy, which is fine. Destroy target creature or land. Cast the Utimus Blast, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's an instant, you cast it, but it's also got Cascade and does 4 damage to a creature. So that's fine. So could I activate her ability? Yeah, so I could activate her ability, just checking that before that works out. So that's kind of cool, because that means that ability is still open. So he didn't draw a land this turn, so we're just going to take away his planes. Come on, zoom in the planes, please. There we go. So we're just going to slow him down a ton. So he was mana blocked, so he got himself mana blocked, and he missed a turn, and now I've just got rid of it in his planes, so I'm kind of happy with that. So hopefully that'll have slowed him down quite a bit. I could even be cruel next turn and do the same again now that he's pretty slow, but then I don't want to be... Oh, he got quite upset with that. So there you go. That's what you do with this deck. If you want to really stop it, you just use your Wrecking Ball, destroy a land, and as you see, it kind of upsets some people. Anyway, guys, so there's 2 quick games against the Auromancer deck. Kubear TV. Grinning Malice. That's an interesting hand. No swamps, though. So, I mean, we do have a Dalibut Tutor, but without a swamp it's useless. I could run the risk because it's a nice hand, but I just don't like holding on to a hand with 2 lands that's got no swamps. So we'll trade it in, and I way prefer that hand. That's such a better hand. I can cast everything in my hand with a 3 power, and I've got a lot of good combinations up here. My opponent looks like he's running 60 cards, possibly running one of the new decks as well. We won't know till next turn. So we'll get our swamp down, run through our cards. Blood Cultist, 1/1 to start off with, 3 cost, swamp and let's skip a turn. But you can tap this creature down and do 1 damage to a target creature. If it kills the creature, or a creature that dies takes damage from her, you put a counter on the 1/1 counter onto her. Our Hissing Iguana, I think it is. So mountain, skip our turn. I think how you say that, Iguanure, which is whenever another creature dies, their target opponent takes 1 damage. Another really cool card, especially when a few creatures might die on 1 turn. You're getting in for a lot of damage with this guy, and it's a 3/1 as well. So if you so need it, you can use this as a blocker, and it does 1 damage to your opponent. So we're going to drop down our swamp, and I think we'll drop down our 4/4 this turn, which was our Ashmore Gorge, which is a 3 cost, multicolored 4/4, but it can't block. So that's his 1 disadvantage. As I said, I can't pronounce her name. Liziloda, the Blood Witch, sacrifice a creature. She does 2 damage to a target creature or player. If the card was red, if it was black, you draw a card, and then Stabbing Pain. So it's just a 1 cost, -1/-1 to target creature. So he's got himself that dude, Vengevine, so he's playing Ancient Wilds, which is quite nice. We're going old school. So he's going to swing in for 4, that's fine, but we can swing back for 4 next turn, so I'm not too bothered. Depending on what we get here. So let's drop down our mountain and make it 2 all. So how do we want to officially spend our mana? Right, well let's swing in first. Possibly our Hissing Fiend, because I think that kind of just walls him off. I don't know if he'll risk attacking. I would probably rather to get our Cultist out, but I don't want to be taking another 4 damage next turn. So I think our Hissing Fiend, and it also leaves us with Stabbing Pains open in case he wants to do any shenanigans with 1/1s. Might have the Death Touch dude, which we could just use to kill off. Then it's probably going to be our Blood Cultist next turn. I think that will prevent him. Nope, he's going to swing in. So do I just want to block this? Probably not, because he'll just get it back anyway if he casts 2 creatures. Do I really want to take 4 though? It's on 5 lands. Yes, we'll take the 4. Maybe not the play, especially because I put that out for the purposes for the blocking. I would have been better playing the Blood Cultist if that was the case. So there we go, there's that dude. So no, we can keep hold of our Stabbing Pains for the current moment. So we've got another Blood Cultist, which is nice. So we will drop down one of them, I think. And we will... do we really want to swing in for 4? I'm sure he'll probably just block with this dude. But then I can just kill that dude and get in for 4, which is what we're going to do. So we'll just do that, and we'll just get rid of that dude. I'd probably rather use the Cultist ability to kill that on a following turn. But just getting in for the 4 damage and keeping my health above his is probably the better situation. I mean, he does have Ender Scale Worm, which could really slow me down, but I do have a good few kill cards in here. Terminate, which you draw quite recently, so I'm not too fast. I mean, he is going to swing in for another 4 here, probably, but then I might just trade off, though I can't tap, which is annoying, because I'd rather be able to tap her and put a counter on her if I'm trading. So I think we'll just take the 4 again this turn. I mean, I don't like going down to 8, but I think it's probably for the best just now. He's only got 2 cards in his hand. Okay, he's got that dude, that's fine. Kinda happy about that. So, oh, excellent. Love this card. Vexing Devil, just a bane of people's existence. So this turn, right, well, I think the first thing we do is we're going to swing in. We'll swing in for... should have maybe... not. Yeah, swing in for the 4. See if he blocks. If he blocks, I can kill his spider. No, he didn't block. That's fine. So this turn we're going to drop hard down, so we can definitely block the Vengevine, I think, and definitely the Devil. So we will, or do we drop the Devil? And yeah, we'll drop the Devil down first anyway, because we want to see if we can get him down. He might just let it through because he's on 7 health. He might let it just cast, which is cool. If he takes a 4, I'm happy. So he's just let it cast, which is excellent for me. And I think our next play is her. Does that leave 2 man open? That leaves 2 man open. That's perfect. I mean, I know I could put her down and then I'd have 2 of these on doing damage, but just the ability to block this dude and then possibly sacrifice this or something else. Maybe not. I don't think that was a play actually. I think Mother Blood Cultist coming down was probably the better play. But I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 damage available to ping at his face, and I've not got the mana to do that, but then it doesn't matter. I'll swing in, see what damage I do. That's fine. I will trade here all day. Just activate her ability, take him down 1, so she gets a counter on her. We trade, I'm happy. I mean, he might just cast 2 more creatures, but that's fine because he's taking 2 damage from my Hissing Iguana. And she's now 2/2. So we can probably kill him next turn. So he's got the Eternal Witness, that's fine. So he's probably going to go and get something. His Vengevine's coming back, that's still fine. Nope, he's got his, of course he's gone and got his Archer, and then he gets his Vengevine back. Nice play from him, so he does get his Vengevine back, but I am not too fast. That was only a 1 cost, and it prevented me from taking damage. We now have Wrecking Ball, which is excellent. I mean, I can So let's just work this out. So I can ping this dude and kill him, and that means he's down to 4, and then I can just sack 2 of my creatures and he'll be in for the game. So I think that's what we'll do. So we'll just activate her ability, get rid of his Eternal Witness, and attack him, so he takes 1 damage from this. So he's down to 4. Then use her ability to sacrifice a creature, activate ability, choose a target creature or player, Dark Vine, sack that dude, put him down to 1 now, take a card because it was a black-white, and then do exactly the same again, sacrifice a creature, players, at his face, and we will sack our Hissing Vine. So there we go guys, GG. So that's how I like this deck. Late on, if you get them down to low enough health, you don't even need to swing an attack, so no matter what happens, you're getting them. So there's a few games of Grinning Malice. KubearTV, signing out.